My sister-in-law was babysitting my son, and when he came home, he told me that she hit him, so I gave her a taste of her own medicine. My sister-in-law, Susie, has never been the sweetest person, but I never expected her to be outright cruel. In the past, she says a few weird comments on her parenting style, and she's mentioned her own childhood and how her parents treated her. She also has an extremely short temper, and she's had rude outbursts on plenty of occasions. This weekend, my son Harry was sleeping over at her house, because she has two boys around his age as well. They like to play together, and after all they are cousins, so I figured that there should not be any issues with Harry spending a night at his cousin's house. Well, if I could go back in time, I sure would. I dropped Harry off on a Friday, and Susie said that she'd have the kids make hot chocolate and watch a movie together, and that they would have a lot of fun playing in her boys' room with their new toys. I thanked her and told her to let me know if there were any issues and that I'd come by the next evening to pick Harry up. The next evening, after I picked Harry up and we were driving back home, I asked him how everything was, and he said that he had a lot of fun but was scared of Aunt Susie because she hit him on his bum. I wasn't sure that I heard right, so I asked him again to tell me in full detail what had happened, and he said that when they were playing last night, his little cousin started crying because he was not able to find a toy of his, and he thought that Harry had hid it from him. Harry said that he had no idea where his toy was and that his little cousin had lost it, but when the kid went to tell his mom what had happened, she believed him and told Harry to give his cousin the toy back. Harry once again said that he didn't have it, so he told Aunt Susie and his cousin that, and that he had no idea where it was, and Aunt Susie thought that he was lying to her. She told him to take his pants off, and with a wooden spoon, she spanked his bottom. I immediately pulled over to the side of the road, and when I told Harry to show me where Aunt Susie had hit him, he showed me, and sure enough it was still red. I told Harry that nobody was allowed to lay their hands on him no matter what the situation was. I then told him that he was not in any trouble whatsoever, but that we needed to go back to their house because I needed to speak to Aunt Susie. As I drove over, I was extremely angry that someone would have the nerve to hurt my 10-year-old kid. When we got there, I told Harry to stay in the car and wait for me there, and that I would be out in a second. I marched into Susie's house and asked her about what happened the night before because Harry told me she had hit him. She admitted to doing so, and said he deserved that for making my baby cry. I told her that he was not the one who took her son's toy and that kids are kids anyways and that she had no right to hit him, to which she just shrugged and said, well, I'm sure it taught him a lesson regardless. It was so obvious to me that she did not feel the weight of the situation, and I was so angry that I reached over and slapped her. I know that it was hypocritical of me, and I asked her how that made her feel, to which she started screaming at me and saying that I had no right to do that. I told her that just because Harry was a kid, didn't mean that he was less of human and that she had no right to do that to him anyway. I got back into my car before things got any uglier, and asked Harry what he wanted for dinner, and I treated him to a burger from his favorite diner and ice cream.